you guys need a new daily driver? Well, we got you covered. LSNasty.com. We're giving away this 650 horsepower turbo LS Swap Colorado. It's a 5-speed manual. You need it in your driveway. It's 10 times entries. LSNasty.com. Bunch of brand new merchandise. Winter collection is up there. Hats, shirts, stickers, socks, you name it, we got it. Check it out. You cannot win unless you're entered. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. If you can't tell by the thumbnail, I've been tearing some shit up.
Yep, I'm flying through the air. This is not good.
With wheelies, and we're gonna go over the damage of what I've been tearing up and what we're gonna do to prevent tearing more stuff up in the future. Honestly, I think we're just gonna keep wheeling things and tearing stuff up. That's part of drag racing, that's part of trying to go fast.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
And I'm okay with it. But I did some damage to the vet. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a severe oil leak now after its big wheelie at Galat Motorsports Park. And then we got Hank sitting right here, which was wheelied, and you guys saw that earlier in the week, and it just had sparks and shit going everywhere. And thankfully, we set the cars up where there's nothing catastrophic to be damaged if they wheelie, unless you like four-wheel flying and slam them down, which we'll go over a couple of those pointers today, which if you guys are building a car, I highly recommend you kind of take those notes and run with them, because some people go out there and they have some stuff hanging low that they shouldn't, and they do a wheelie and the stuff gets on their tires and they wreck. We try to avoid that at all costs. So I'm gonna pick the camera up, I'm gonna walk around, show you guys some things that we have going on both the cars that were damaged and how the setup of them kind of saves them from having any sort of catastrophic damage to it. We'll give you guys those tips. We'll talk about what we're gonna do to fix it. Before we go any further, I want you guys to know Racetech's doing a giveaway on their new 4200 seat, which is absolutely badass. If you guys are interested in picking up a Racetech seat for free, just go over to their website and pick up some merchandise and you're automatically entered to win their 4200 seat. Absolutely badass seat. Got a video filmed on it and everything. You guys really need to check out their stuff. All their products are amazing, super high quality, and they're safe, so in a racing application, you can't really beat that. And then also, we are giving away a 650 horsepower turbo LS Swap Colorado, which can be yours. You go to lsnasty.com. Every $1 you spend gets you 10 entries to win. It's pretty tough to beat that. You know, one entry can win it all, and you get 10 for every $1. So lsnasty.com. We got a bunch of brand new merchandise. Got some hoodies, shirts, hats, stickers. Nasty Co, Nasty Racing, Small Tire Outlaws are the 3 brands up there. I'm sure there's something up there for you. Check it out and pick some stuff up. Let's get into today's video.
It's time!
All right, let's start off with Hank. This is a fresh unit from a nice little wheelie accident, mistake, miscalculation. There's a couple things I want to address. First, everyone in the comments that's like, oh, why don't you just drag the brakes? Just drive with 2 feet and just tap the brakes.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Dude, it doesn't work like that.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
That's just the most like ridiculous. I don't think anyone that's commenting has ever wheelied a car before. So they're just literally talking out their ass. Or like, oh, I wheelied a car back in the 80s. Like,
Shut up, bitch!
dude, it's a 1600 horsepower turbo car. It's a little bit different. When it's wheeling, some stuff's going on. Logan got out of it 100%, which I don't recommend because then it just falls to the ground. Usually you could chop the throttle. Some people are like bang the shifter into high gear, but a car that's on an air shifter, you're gonna mess up, you know, its shift point, and then the car's gonna run. If you're wheeling, you're not really going fast as you could, so it's not good, but if you're up there in the air, it's not so much, hey, let's make a fast pass. It's, hey, let's just set it down without tearing some shit up, which I failed to do on that, and everyone's like, oh, just drag the brakes.
Shut up, bitch.
Logan knocked some stuff around on this thing. So just want to get that out there. If you're like, hey, just tap the brakes while you're pulling a wheelie as you're going a 1-something 60 foot, like a 1-teen or faster 60 foot, you're an idiot because it's wheelied already and it just doesn't work like that. All right, so both of these cars, really every single car in here from Slick Rick, I haven't really looked on this thing because we didn't set that up. I know CJ's car is good. Got an oil pan for that thing, so it's good. The Black Sheep's good. The Bad Apple's good. Eddie Murphy's good. We make sure that the lowest point on the car is not the oil pan or the transmission pan, because if you wheelie it and it comes down, they will hit the ground. The car will bottom out. The suspension will bottom out. The chassis will bottom out. Something will stop the car from coming down. It's like dropping it off a lift. The suspension's not just going to soak it up. So one thing that we do on all the cars is we make sure that the engine, the oil pan, and the transmission pan is up high enough. Now, most Fox Body, Mustang, New Edge, SN95 stuff, the motor mounts put you in a good spot where the transmission's not hanging low. You just have to run the right oil pan. That's important. So we're not worried about wheeling it and busting an oil pan. But on this car here, I don't know if you guys can see, the lowest point is, it's kind of tough to see. Let's see if we can get it from the bottom. Oh, there we go. The lowest point is the mounts for the steering rack. It's got a diaper on it, so it looks like the oil pan's hanging a lot lower than it is, but it is the steering rack. This car doesn't have Pro-Jack tabs. If you notice when Forrest went up and wheelied and it came down, the Pro-Jack tabs dug in. That's a pretty common thing. That's what happens on this car, so I like to put Pro-Jack tabs on everything. This thing's going to get Pro-Jack tabs put on it here as soon as I get back from Thanksgiving. But when it wheelied and it came down, it just banged the K-member and it banged the steering rack. It's something that you just address. You look at it, make sure the car still drives straight, the steering's still straight, none of the tie rods are bent, the alignment looks good. You just have to visually inspect it after you wheelie it and let it come down like that. If you really slam it down, like super hard, sometimes the intercooler can touch, which you guys could probably see. It's really tough to tell. Yeah, you can tell it's touched before, just barely, ever so slightly. Again, that all of this goes into thought when building the cars. You want to have everything up there. You want the lowest part of the car to be some part of the frame or like a K-member, the Black Sheep, the K-member in the front. Hangs the lowest, so a tube will touch, the Pro-Jack tabs will touch, that thing the Pro-Jack tabs will touch. So we actually made out pretty unscathed on this deal, where it just banged the rack and everything's still in place, everything's still in a good spot, nothing needs to be repaired, but we do need to address it. I'm going to put some Pro-Jack tabs on there, dual purpose. We'll be able to put the car in Pro-Jacks, and also it will act as a very shittily designed wheelie ski. They will hit the ground and dig in the ground first and keep the car higher up. Try to just keep that rack off the ground. So we made out good here. Logan did a great job driving. He wheelied at the first pass, just drove out a power wheelie. Second pass, I turned it up and didn't tighten the front end up enough, and it went for the bumper. In the third pass, it held the front end up for probably a good 200 feet. So Logan did an amazing job driving. Everyone in the comment section, I'm allowed to give Logan shit. You guys aren't allowed to give Logan shit. You guys don't drive the cars, so you guys can't give him shit, but I can give him shit. Because I put the tune-up in there, and I did the suspension adjustment, so when I mess it up, that's on me, but I still like to give Logan shit, because Logan's my boy. You gotta understand, we've been racing forever, so we can dish it out and take it, and Logan's given me enough shit over the years, it's time to pay it forward and pay it back to him. So, let's talk about the Vet. The Vet fared a little bit differently. So, you guys saw when this thing wheelied, big sparks. It has a severe oil leak now. But as you can see, the project tabs, that's what it's sitting on right there. They hit the ground, they're milled down. If you can't tell, it's happened before. The lowest point on this car would be the transmission pan, or sorry, would be the oil pan if it wasn't for the project tabs. So they were put in there specifically to keep the oil pan off the ground. It's a Corvette. The engine is where it is. You're not going to change it. You can run a different pan, but then you lose a lot of the, you have some issues with windage, and then you have some issues with just oil quantity. So that pan has to be run. And as you can see, it does hang pretty low. So the project tabs are the only thing keeping the oil pan from getting busted. What we damaged here was the scavenge pump. As you can see, it is the lowest point on the car, and that banged the ground. It looks like the fitting also hit the ground, so that thing really flexed, and it is not happy. So we're going to replace the scavenge pump. I'm going to try to move it up just a little bit, and then I think we should be okay, but definitely not ideal by any means to have that happen. So if we were running the car without project tabs on, though, it'd be a whole nother story, because when you wheelie and come down like that, if it busts the oil pan, it's going on the tires, and your wheelie that just got set down hard goes from, oh, that was an oops, to, ooh, I wadded the car up. So these are all things you got to keep in mind when you're putting the cars together. A car like the Red Lobster, I ordered an oil pan for, so we put the motor in there. I measured from the pan rail down to where the lowest point, and I went a ½ inch above it, and then boom, it goes in there, and you really have no issues. So that pretty much explained all the damage on Hank. None. We're just gonna add project tabs as a preventative maintenance thing to make sure we don't ding up anything underneath the car, and then we could put it on projects. And this thing here, everything on the car fared well from the wheelie except for the scavenge pump. Probably need a new scavenge pump anyways. It's pretty wore out. We're gonna move it up in the car, and then unfortunately on this, the project tabs are a wear item, so might have to cut those off and put a fresh set of project tabs on there because they've worn down quite a bit over time. So
project tabs and a scavenge pump, or all you're messing up in a wheelie. That's
what I said. I was like, it's better than
that's the cheapest option.
You bust the oil pan and wad the car up. Yeah. We're sitting pretty. So that thing right there, we're gonna add some project tabs. We should be good, and then we'll really be ready for flight. Like almost get it 90 degrees with Logan in there. Just if it might go there, and it might just start launching into the sky. But yeah, this car's been running great. I got some stuff to do, like an update on the car, make it a little bit more competitive, a little bit faster. Upgrade the chassis, upgrade the cage, upgrade the engine, upgrade the rear end, and it should be a really fun car. So there you go, just a quick update of what everything's doing. Everything's still in one piece, everything's still alive. Logan did a great job driving. This thing here, when this wheelied, it just went straight up off the hit, and you're in no man's land. So it goes up, it's coming down, and if you're not going fast enough or going straight, you don't have the opportunity to save it. You're just tearing some shit up. Miscalculation on my end on the tune-up, but hey, you live and you learn, you know? So that's gonna wrap it up. If you guys haven't already, go down and click that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next upload.